So,
Okay.
Jeanie, spring is in the air.
Love is in the air.
Let's hope so. Fall in love with the house, maybe.
Fall in love with the house. Please come fall in love with the house. Okay, so it's March. It's Texas. It's spring break. So it's kind of an oddly quiet time for us. Just kind of weird.
Okay.
Because we were popping hard for a little bit, and then spring break hit, and we kind of slowed down, and so we're still selling houses. I did the monthly updates for Rockwall, Garland, and Dallas counties.
Okay.
So think about 3 of the biggest counties on the northeast side of the Metroplex, right? And Rockwall, rock on.
Really?
You're doing exceptionally well. Garland County and Dallas County, stable.
Okay.
Just they're doing what they need to do. Nothing out of the ordinary. Days on market's a little bit longer, and I think that's going to surprise people and maybe even make people worry. But we got to think about what month it is, right? It's March, it's spring. We're coming out of the winter months where, days on market are a little longer, and we're coming into the spring selling season.
All right, so you said a couple of things there I'm curious about.
Okay.
You said we were rocking hard before spring break. When does rocking hard begin?
Really, it doesn't start until right as school's letting out. So we're talking May, June, July.
Okay.
And that's when we really, and I don't think that people realize how cyclical real estate really is, right? So we absolutely are bell-shaped curve. Even in COVID, you could still see the bell-shaped curve.
So
Isn't that interesting?
Even when we're stuck at home, we still buy real estate in the summer? Is that the moral?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. When do people have time? They don't want to move. If they have children, they don't want to move them while school's in session, right? And so
even though they're in school at home, but okay.
Even though they're in school at home, still got to think about that, right?
Creatures of habit.
Creatures of habit. The other thing is, when do our homes show best?
When
Spring and summer.
Yeah, well, when
right?
the sun's out, I guess.
Think about pools. There is absolutely, positively pool season.
Okay.
Right? There's my nugget for the day. There's absolutely, positively pool season. If you put your house on the market in November and you have a pool, all buyers see is maintenance for the next how many months? And how many major freezes?
360. If you're me. Yeah,
Stop. I'm going to call you David Martin here in a minute. But no. It's so absolutely seasonal.
Okay, so Rockwall's rocking.
Rockwall is rocking.
Why? New builds? People want to live over there? School district? Proximity to something?
I think it's all of those things. They've had some bobbles on a few of those fronts. Let's not get into that. But, it's a great place to live.
Bobbled. I hope that shows up on the video.
Little bobblehead.
Yeah, I did the bobbles. Yeah. Okay, good.
Randy's like, oh my God, you guys are killing me.
And it's kind of funny that we're talking about moving that direction, because I am seeing more and more clients, or at least more and more activity coming from Roy City, a little further out that way, because I think more clients that are trying to get into Dallas see that as a closer option or a less expensive option than trying to go north.
Mm-hmm. So not going up to like Salina, where you're going to be stuck on Dallas North Tollway or 75 for 3 hours to get into Dallas.
That has been the conversation with the past couple of clients. I know we had Travis, and that was important to him. He wanted to be, where he could be 20 to 25 minutes to downtown Dallas for work, and just going north, he knew coming in that wasn't going to be an option for him. So that's what put him out in the area that he's in.
The bridge expansion for 30 is huge too.
Okay,
right?
so relieving congestion.
We're trying to. So
do home buyers know about that? Do you think that's a factor in their shopping experience, or home buyers that already live in market know about that? Maybe.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Interesting.
Well, I know we just closed last week, the one that we did Anna and Gerardo, they're out that direction, and then the family that bought Jeff's house.
Oh, right.
They're absolutely in that direction in Roy City, and I didn't realize that expansion bridge had already opened until I was on the road getting out there, and I was like, well, this is very nice. I could see there was still a lot of traffic stuck on the old highway side.
Okay.
But the service road, the frontage road, once you came off George Bush, took you, way past that. So it was very nice.
So almost to the hibachi joint that we go to sometimes?
Almost.
Okay.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
But the frontage road got probably halfway out, I would think.
Okay.
Of course, I was just hustling trying to get there because it was the last day of the month, and we're trying to do that mobile closing out there for the family.
All right, very cool. All right, so nuggets. What do people need to know right now, or when this video gets posted right now, in the future?
I think that one reoccurring theme in my real estate life over the last 2 full weeks is that I'm going to offend some people, but you're just going to have to roll with me here. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Cleaning is free. Yes, I pay somebody to clean my house because I work a lot and makes for a happier marriage, but it doesn't have to cost you anything to clean your house. And if you think your house is clean, dig a little deeper because it's not as clean as you think. You need to put your buyer eyes on and clean. And so if you are a little banged up, if you are not as updated as maybe you need to be, cleaning will still get you to the finish line. It's kind of sad how many dirty houses I walked into showing over the last 2 weeks. It's like, guys, come on, right? This is a $500,000 house I'm showing, and the baseboards are gross. They're just gross.
Yeah, we had something similar because, like all consumers, we go when our neighbors are trying to sell their homes. And there's one in our neighborhood. We live in very kind of central Plano, 70s, 80s build time frame. And during the COVID cycle, Katie and I went and looked at one of our neighbors' house, and they still had the old brown, covers on their outlets and on their switches. And we're like, wow, that's like a $5 investment in selling your house. And it was this weird, we want top of market return, but we want bottom of effort list. And it almost put us into the place where we were angry about it. Because we're like, geez Louise, if you're going to ask for this, spend the $20, $30, $40 to change out your sockets, to change out your lights to the new rocker panels, to get those covers replaced. I mean, those are 78 cents a piece if you buy them in bulk. I definitely think Swiffer the corners and just get in there and make it presentable.
Doesn't take much.
And it can mean thousands of dollars.
Thousands of dollars, and time is money. So
more time on the market means
you're going to lose every day that we sit there. We're losing money.
Less money always.
Always.
A realtor told me that one time. More time on market means less money always. I think it's you.
What's your nugget, John?
What's my nugget? Hey, it's spring. Love is in the air, but so is hail. And we're in a weird position, I would say more so recently, where traditionally we get really dense, high velocity hail, right? So nice, solid hailstones, and they're just getting forced right into those shingles. We're getting a lot of hail nowadays where it's I call it plop plop hail. I don't know what the technical term is for it, but just kind of splats when it hits your shingles. It sounds bad, but it doesn't look bad on inspection. And we've come across a lot of people who file a claim for that. And the issue in there is kind of threefold. So number one, you file a claim. If it doesn't get paid, your premium won't go up, most likely because of filing that claim, but you lose some claims-free discounts. So your total rate's going to go up. Your premium might not go up, but your total rate will most likely go up for having filed that claim. That's number one. Number two, because you have a claim on your record, it's called a CLUE report. It's kind of like a credit reporting agency for insurance behavior. You may not be able to go to another insurer. So you're pissed off at your current insurer because they didn't pay your claim. But to be fair, there's no damage. And then you can't go to a new insurer because you have that claim on there. And then we have seen cases in recent history where insurers say, you told us something's wrong with your roof. You filed a claim because something's wrong with your roof, but you didn't send us any documentation of repairs. So we believe that there's a deficiency with your home and we're going to drop your coverage. So nobody's going to pick you up. Your current insurance is going to drop you and you're stuck paying a higher rate while you're there. So it's kind of a perfect storm of hailstorms that isn't helpful. So have a reputable, can I look at your roof, right? Have a reputable roofer come out. That could be somebody that you refer, I refer, Randy refers. We all know reputable people in the industry, and have them go up, do a good inspection, take a look. Don't be afraid or ashamed to get second opinions. My neighbor on the other side of the wall here had a door knocker come out say, yes, you need a new roof. Called his roofer to take a look at it. The person took a ball peen hammer and hammered in hail damage in a 10 by 10 square to take a picture of it to submit the claim, and the rest of his roof was absolutely fine. So there are unreputable, unscrupulous, and I guess lacking ethics roofers out there. Make sure that you're working with somebody that you trust, or somebody that you trust trusts.
Right.
Ooh, that's long-winded. Randy, what's going on in the world of mortgage?
You know, in the world of mortgage, just thinking of a recent situation I came across was, I have an FHA loan that we were working, and there was a carport. You know, it's a detached carport, not a part of the property, not a part of the house, not giving any value to it. However, it was a wooden carport, and it had chipped and peeling paint.
Okay.
The appraiser noted it, subject to repair, prime and paint the carport. Talked about it, and honestly, we tried to push back a little bit, but got an education on it because I was trying to take the angle that it's not a part of the house. I thought we should be okay.
It's a separate structure. Okay,
separate
fair
structure.
enough. Yeah.
There's no value given. However, FHA guidelines, talking with the underwriter and the appraiser, we got everybody together, and FHA just requires that to be remedied. Either prime and paint the structure or demolish and remove. So those are the two options.
Ooh.
That's a learning point, haven't dealt with that in the past, but just hadn't seen chipped paint on an appraisal in years. I thought that was something we had maybe moved away from, but it is still out there, and I just want to be able to bring people's awareness to that who are working in that situation where they're out showing clients or somebody's out looking at buying a house. Those are things that can still come up and cause a wrinkle. We have a remedy, solution's going to happen, we're still going to close on time. No problem, but it is something that had to be addressed.
We
both wanted to jump on this. That was great. All right.
Randy, I got a shed in the backyard that is not in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in FHA land, so if I get an FHA buyer, are you warning me that I either got to get it in good shape or remove it?
Or get a sledgehammer.
Those are the two options that are going to most likely come up. Am I saying it's going to happen 100% all the time?
So roll the dice, but
Right.
be prepared.
Be prepared.
So as a listing agent, I got to be preparing my sellers that, hey, this could be a problem. We hope not, but
yes,
be prepared.
that's definitely something to put on your radar to be
Okay.
aware of. One of those things when you're out looking and talking with
As a buyer's agent, that's easy because I'm definitely talking about peel and paint
Right.
already.
Right.
Okay. Did that answer your question too?
No, it's actually more of a comment. I think one of the things that people forget when they get a mortgage is that if they stop paying it, right, the bank now owns it, and they want to make sure that it's in good shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing too, especially being a veteran, one of the things that I appreciated was the degree to which the appraiser had to go to make sure that a veteran wasn't put into a bad position buying that home with unnecessary maintenance expenses. So I know it's a pain in the rump, but I think as frustrated as we get by a lot of these things, like, shaking the fist, like, why do we have to do this? A lot of times it's making sure that there's no wood rot underneath it there, making sure that the FHA buyer or the veteran isn't going to have to sit there in, another 6 months or a year and incur that unnecessary expense for tearing it down and removing it or repairing it or replacing it or whatever the case might be. So my admonition, if you will, as an insurance agent is roll with the punches, right? When these rules come out, a lot of times they're there to protect the buyer. So as inconvenient as a headache as it is, I like some of them. Not all of them, but some of them.
Right. And that's
I like that stink eye. That is great. Jeannie gave me a fantastic stink eye.
But that's where it really just pays to work with people who can understand, can see the big picture, and always solutions. There's always solutions.
And walk you through it.
You just gotta
Be
work
a
through
problem solver. Don't just
Right.
be the problem.
Be an upstander. All right. Anything else? Final thoughts?
No, but I think we should be talking about VA appraisers sometime soon.
I am not qualified to talk about VA appraisers. I've only been on the receiving end of that. But Randy, man, maybe we get a VA appraiser in here. That'd be great. Like, what are you looking for? I think that'd be a lot of fun. If they're not out doing appraisals, we'll bring them in.
I want them out doing appraisals right now faster.
That's right.
There you go.
Let's close.
Got it. Yes.
All right. Fantastic.
Easy enough.
See you, everybody.